Scott Presler?
Can't be. Not tall enough.
Republicans, I'm Scott Presler.
Scott Presler is 10 feet tall.
And if he were here, he'd consume the Liberals with fireballs from his eyes and bolts of lightning from his arse. I see a whole army of my countrymen here in defiance of tyranny. That they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
Ladies and gentlemen, moving right along to the man who won us Pennsylvania, the great Scott Presler, joins the show live. Scott, I will never have hair as glorious as yours. Okay, I'm trying this morning. All right, since we slept at the studio, I'm trying. But Scott, you're the man. You are it. You can spike a football. I don't know if you got champagne. I don't know if you got a football to spike. I don't know if you can do a touchdown dance on the program. Like this, my friend, is something that you have been talking to us about on this program for years, joining us from hotels or in cars, and you focused on Pennsylvania and you delivered the Keystone. And God bless you, man.
Thank you. It's surreal, Benny. We did it. We did it, Joe.
We did it, Joe. Tell me about this wild ride, because there was a moment when the most viral thing about Scott Presler was you continued to tweet at Ronna McRomney, hey, I'll help the RNC. I'll do it for free. Let me build a voter registration coalition for you. And in the time span of the last 18 months, everything's changed.
Oh, I mean, I can't describe how thankful I am to have Chairman Michael Whatley and especially Co-Chair Laura Trump. You know, Laura, I have to give a shout out. She has had my back since day one. And more importantly, that means our back. To every viewer at home that does the grassroots work of door knocking and phone calling and voter registration and getting out the vote in 110-degree weather in places like Texas and Arizona. When Laura Trump communicates with me, that's on behalf of you, the grassroots, the patriots. And so I just want you to know that this new RNC, this new GOP that we're building, it's going to have the backbone of the grassroots, and more importantly, all of us are going to have a seat at the table. And I think that was evident in the victory that we had last night.
Scott, I'll be happy to sing your praises. I know you're very humble, but I'll be happy to sing your praises and say that without Scott Presler, we would not have had the voter registration numbers in Pennsylvania to make it a win on election night. And I think that there could have been some funny business without the raw, monstrous numbers of Scott Presler, and then also Elon Musk focusing so heavily on Pennsylvania. Scott, tell me about why did you choose Pennsylvania, and what were the total number of voter registrations that you are responsible for in your incredible group?
You know, something just has nagged me since even before the 2020 election. Something in my head just kept saying, focus on Pennsylvania, focus on Pennsylvania, go to Pennsylvania. And this is a state, a commonwealth that I moved to. I purchased a home in Pennsylvania just to vote for Donald Trump. We launched an organization that hired 74 paid field staff across Pennsylvania. And we were able to flip counties, Benny, like Bucks County. Did you guys even realize what happened yesterday? We flipped Bucks County and Donald Trump won this county that hasn't voted for a Republican president since 1988. So when people say that voter registration doesn't make a difference, when people say that we're just flipping ancestral Democrats to Republican, no. Early Vote Action, our organization, earlyvoteaction.com, we at least, this is a conservative estimate, registered 50,000 voters this cycle in Pennsylvania alone.
Wow.
50,000.
Wow. We have members of our staff that live in Philadelphia. Ashley is saying, my aunt was a first-time voter in Bucks County because of Scott, because of your work. You got I mean, on my staff, we have people who were affected by your work and voted for the first time for Donald Trump. Look at this state, Scott. Look at this. Look what you've done.
It's beautiful.
Brother.
Beautiful. And it's just, you know, the stories that nobody else knows, Benny, or nobody else is going to talk about is I want to give a shout out to members of my team very, very briefly. Hagen moved from Washington State. He drove to Pennsylvania from Washington on the West Coast on a whim and said, Scott, I'm coming to Pennsylvania. I'm going to do everything in my power. I'm moving to the state. We were so impressed by his tenacity, we hired him. And Hagen, you helped deliver Erie. You helped flip that quintessential swing county from blue to red. And I want to give a shout out to Will. Will is a veteran, a father who lived in Missouri. And he moved, Benny, on a whim. He drove to Pennsylvania. We were so impressed by him that we hired him for Pittsburgh. And people don't realize, when you win 40% of Allegheny County, that's the election. And I do believe that Donald Trump won 39.6% of Allegheny County in this election. So it's people like Hagen, it's people like Will, it's people like Tricia that, get this, Benny, Armstrong County overproduced from 2020, Indiana overproduced from 2020, Mifflin, Juniata, Perry, Lancaster, those are all Amish counties. And I'm here to tell you that our work courting the Amish with people like Tricia, with people like Ryan Sexton, with people like Ellis Dukehart, the Amish helped deliver the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania for Donald Trump. Everything that we did, from hunters to veterans to fraternity brothers, every gun show we went to, every gun store, all of those efforts helped to deliver the Commonwealth for Donald Trump. And I couldn't be more proud.
I know I'm going to put you on the spot here, Scott, but which one of these counties, we can hover over one of them. Which one of these counties is your personal pride and joy?
Bucks.
Right here.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yep. Wow. And look at that. And this is the one won it, bro. This is the one. This is the one that put Trump at 270. This did it.
And, you know, it was 1:30. I'm sitting in my car and I'm just freaking out to myself, you know, because I shrink away during election night, you know, just a nervous wreck. And I hear inside in the building that we're having a private viewing party, and just the cheers and the shouts, and my team, JD Longo, comes running over to me, and Joe, my data director, and they're just like, Scott, we did it. We won Pennsylvania. We just delivered the White House to Donald J. Trump.
Oh, man. Bro, I mean, yes, that's right. Ladies and gentlemen watching at home, I mean, you obviously know Scott's been on the program a lot, often joins us from a hotel or a gun show or in the back of his car. He's inspired so many memes. Of course, we're big fans of memes. Here's a good one. Scott, it begs the question. So the touchdown dance is here. It worked. It worked. Everything from the photo of you at the RNC with Laura Trump right after the shift and the change after Rana was fired.
Yes.
To your you building out an organization with 70 plus staff, right? 70 plus employees. Yes. Early vote action. To the meme content, which is inspiring in its own right. What's next, man? I mean, I guess on this program, I'd have to, since I got you live here, I have to just shove and encourage you. You should run this for all 50 states. You should be in charge of it over the next 4 years. You should build out this system because you've proven it works. Like an incubator, you've proven it works.
Well, I want to take a very serious tone for a second, because the American people have entrusted the Republican Party with their future.
Yes.
And I don't take this lightly. This isn't a game. This is real life, and there are real world consequences. And the American people are expecting Republicans to deliver results immediately. And so to anybody that watches this program, I'm sure that several Congress people do, please, I ask you, you immediately get to writing legislation that when Donald Trump and all of you are sworn in on January 20th, 2025, that you are immediately pushing and introducing legislation in the House and the Senate concurrently, so that way we can begin delivering on day one. And more importantly, here's how we need to be focused, Benny. The way that history dictates is that the party of power usually loses in the midterms. This is critically important. If there's anything I say on your show, this is the most important. Republicans must use these next 2 years thinking that we are going to lose the midterms. There's none of this baloney that we're going to have 4 years. That means that if Clarence Thomas is going to bow out, we need to do all of our Supreme Court nominations and approvals within the first 2 years. That means things like securing the border and any healthcare legislation. All legislation must be passed within these 2 years, thinking that we're going to lose the House and or Senate in 2026. Because otherwise, if we lose the Senate, there goes judicial nominations, there goes the Supreme Court, there goes legislative victories, and Donald Trump will be a lame duck. And furthermore, I want to make it very clear that we are not stopping for a second. I am more emboldened than ever. And my goal, Benny Johnson, is we are going to Florida, Pennsylvania within the next few years.
I love hearing that, baby. Oh, that's amazing. So you're saying million vote margins on election night. Is it what you're saying? Million plus vote election night victories, not 100,000.
I'm saying we're going to continue flipping counties from blue to red. Erie, we're coming for you peacefully. Center County, we're coming for you. Monroe and Okonos, we're coming for you. Lehigh, Northampton, we are coming for you. And furthermore, I would like to help deliver with earlyvoteaction.com a plurality of registered Republican voters by the next presidential election.
Ooh, baby. You know, you can only get so excited on this program, Scott. It's a family show. This is the image that changed it all. This is the photo that changed it all. This is maybe 18 months old, this photo. Well, here's Laura Trump. Trump welcoming you to the RNC with open arms and saying, we will work with you. The future looks incredibly bright, Scott.
It does. And Laura changed my life in so many ways, as did Elon Musk, as did, you know, everyone like you that's had me on your platforms to be able to share our message. But one of the biggest things that I will never forget as long as I live is at the triumphant return of President Trump to Butler, the site of the assassination attempt. I had no clue this was going to happen, but Laura Trump invited me on stage to speak in front of 80,000 people. And it was the most surreal, it was the most humbling. It was honestly one of the greatest honors for me to address the state, the nation, and dare I say the world with our message. And I'm forever grateful, Laura. Thank you for entrusting in me the ability to convey our conservative message and ultimately help to deliver Pennsylvania for your father-in-law.
We actually have that moment right here. There it is. Scott, that was so awesome, man. We were in the audience for that. That was so freaking great.
I was in shorts, Benny. 80,000 people saw my legs. They saw I was wearing short shorts, Benny.
You're gonna scale. I mean, really. Okay. So it's obviously working. I just want to get this pinned down. You need to scale your operation with Turning Point Action. You got to do it, and then just bring it national. You got to do it. I mean, obviously, stay in Pennsylvania and Florida, Pennsylvania, but you need to just fuse that together, and then make that the Get Out the Vote operation that leads us into a new golden American century.
Well, and you know, we're team players. Thank you, Tyler Boyer. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Noah Formica. Thank you, Cliff Maloney. You know, there were so many. I laugh. I don't want to gloat. I don't want to be a gloating person. That's not in my character. But to any person out there that said Donald Trump didn't have a ground game, well, how do you feel now?
You can say it, Scott. How you like me now, bitch? You can say it. You can say it on this program. It's a family show, but we have a bleeper button. Scott, we are so very thankful for your work. We'll do everything in our power to support you, to amplify your message, to bring you and Laura Trump together. We had Laura Trump on the show, and we said, "Will you reach out to Scott Presler?" And she made quite a bit of news with her answer. And we're so happy to be allied with you. You're literally saving the country. We say this to people. You're literally doing it. Everyone follows Scott. Obviously, millions of Americans already do. 2 million Americans follow Scott Presler, the man who is truly the persistence. Godspeed, Scott.
Thank you, Benny. Congratulations.
Congratulations to you, bro. You earned it.
Bye.